what happens in this game is that imagine that you're staring straight at your screen as you are now. In the center of the screen, you'd see a license plate, and that license plate would have either a car or a truck in it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and then there would be 8 moons around in the same orbit around the license plate. 7 of those moons or circles would have rabbit crossing signs, and one would have a Route 66 sign.
Okay. Okay.
And the object of the game is to get as fast as you can, where when the screen flashes on, you can remember whether it was a car or truck in the center image and where in the periphery the Route 66 sign is.
Okay.
Then over time, of course, the game proceeds to increase the challenge automatically to individuals, but only as fast as they're able to proceed correctly 75% of the time.
All right.
So it's designed not to make people frustrated or bored, which is very important in self-administered training games.
Yes.
And so what the program is actually doing is training you on cognitive processing speed, faster reaction time. It's also training on selective attention so that you'll remember to figure out, okay, now I'm looking for the rabbit crossing sign. I'm sorry, now I'm looking for the Route 66 sign rather than the rabbit crossing sign and so forth. On divided attention, because now you have to divide your attention between the car or the truck and the Route 66 sign. And then by expanding out the useful field of view, it enhances the useful field of view aspect.
Okay, and how does that work?
So imagine you're driving a car about 55 miles an hour. In the United States, Iowa has more deer vehicle accidents than any other state in the country.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Okay. Thank goodness it's not Minnesota where it's moose accidents that they have the most of.
It's worse.
Because it's worse. It's a little harder on the car, not so much harder on the moose. They have a better center of gravity. But in any event, our participants like to say, I was always scared of driving, especially at night, because the deer, I don't see them until they're in my headlights.
Yeah, okay.
And after training, they say, now I can see them when they're on the side of the road contemplating running across the road. And I like to think of that as the difference between watching the deer run across in front of your car while you're stopped versus watching the deer hit your windshield.
Okay. So can you apply this method elsewhere as well?
Our study doesn't mean that all video games help to make people cognitively faster. Okay. Because ours is working is specific. The one we tested is specifically designed to first assess where people are at in terms of their cognitive processing speed, selective attention, divided attention, and useful field of view, and then start them off in the program exactly where they're at and continue to challenge them.
Okay, that's clear. And do you have any plans for further research on how games can improve brain functions?
Good news we found is that we'd known from the active study that Road Tour had an effect on useful field of view. But the active study didn't include other cognitive processing speed tasks.
Okay.
So we included them in our study, and they transferred to the other tasks that were not directly trained either. So, but what we're doing, where we go next, I think, is your question.
Yeah.
And the answer is we know it works. What we don't know is how it works. So the studies that we're proposing now would continue with somewhat longer periods of training and include functional MRI imaging prior to training, during training, and post-training to see what aspects of the brain's functional structure might be being affected or enhanced. There's some speculation that what it might do would be increase synaptic activity so that there would be more transfer from different networks to each other.
Okay,
in the brain.
Okay, because synaptic activity is the way the brain functions. Connection, the connection between brains. Okay, great.
So
very interesting.
Like replacing the wiring.
I'm sorry?
kind of like replacing the wiring or modernizing the wiring in the brain.
Ah, okay. Now, maybe we can call you later. Can video Skype you after you've
Sure,
done this research as well. Okay.
sure.
Now, great. Now, thank you very much. And good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.